Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of the Living Room Chat podcast with myself, Matt, himself, Ryan, and today we have a special guest in the house.
We do indeed, Matthew. Thank you so much for that.
There we go.
Yeah, so I've known this chap for probably over 10 years from when we first worked together indirectly. Mm-hmm. He's a whiz on social media, a very talented video editor, a drone pilot extraordinaire, and an all-round optimistic, enthusiastic, legend of a guy, Mr. Sanjay Patel.
I feel like I need to get up and give you a cuddle or something. What an intro.
I was actually working on that.
I mean, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, it's good to be here.
Welcome to the Living Room Chat podcast.
This is the zone, right? This is the place. This is the place to be right now. Yeah.
But you're not a newbie to podcasts, are you?
No, I'm not a newbie to podcasts. No, I did have my own podcast. I still do have my own podcast, but it was more to do with my life coaching business. And yeah, it was deep, powerful, in-depth chats, game changer moments and breakthroughs. It was kind of crazy in a great way.
People like that. Like what I love, what we've obviously doing podcasts now. This is episode 10. So we've done a few for a couple of months now, and it's nice that you can talk about stuff that you don't even expect or think you're going to talk about. You just go off in tangents, and you can actually dive into some really cool topics.
Yeah. I mean, I never had a plan for those podcasts. We just literally started the podcast, started speaking. I asked a couple of questions in the intro to get real, like the mind sort of thinking. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, you're talking about all sorts And do you know what? The feedback was that people that listened to it, were really just taken back by some of the situations, which were so relatable with them.
Yeah.
That's the game changer, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to hear stuff that's relatable. They don't care about stuff that's doesn't matter to you. So it was good though.
That's awesome. That's what we were saying last week, isn't it? About viral videos.
Yeah,
it can be about something you might look at it and go, "That's pointless," but if people relate to it, then that's when you get the engagement.
Yeah. Or do you say it's things that annoy you and things that you focus on or see? Most people it's going to annoy them, and they're going to see it as well. And that's what gets viral.
So random observations. I think there's something about just expressing a random thought or something. If people can relate to it, that's what makes good content.
Absolutely.
It's what stops the scroll, right?
Exactly.
Then you go down the rabbit hole, which we all know about. We've all been there. Everyone, if you're listening to this, you sat there literally on the loo scrolling via reels. That's just what it is, isn't it?
You do. You think, a quick 2 minutes, and then suddenly it's, I'll do it till half an hour, and then it's like, fuck, you lost an hour, and it's like, oh shit, okay, cool.
Exactly.
There we go. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first of all, and then we can run into what we're going to roll through in the next hour. But tell us a little bit about what is the brand of Sanjay Patel, and you as a person, obviously.
I suppose, I'm not going to talk about work stuff because, obviously I've got a career and stuff, but I suppose me as a person, I have been through a bit of a mental journey just growing up in my 20s, I would say. Mm-hmm. Even though going back to sort of childhood days, there was everyone has their own childhood, everyone has their own ways of growing up and everything happens for a reason. But I think during my 20s was more of a realisation. I was one of those typical people that going out, working for the weekend, getting your paycheck. And I remember coming up to turning 30, and that was kind of a breakthrough moment for me. I was like, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm moving to London. I'm going to go do what I want to do, which was music. I'm still infatuated with music. I can't live without music. I don't know about you boys.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a musician. I've been in bands since I was 13.
I was just talking about earlier. I get up in the morning, I go into my living room to go make a coffee, and then I go, Alexa, play my Spotify playlist, because I'm just I need something in the background. Anyway, and then I kind of had a bit of a massive breakthrough moment when I moved to London, because I started doing my life coaching and I started learning more about personal development, which I think was the game changer and the change of where I am today, really. Started learning stuff, started teaching myself stuff, video editing, as you mentioned earlier, and just making content and just doing it because I love doing it, not because I had to do it. And that taught me a lot about me, and then here I am 36 years later.
There you go.
Loving life.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
So were you one of the first avocado partners?
I was the third.
You were the third.
I think.
Okay.
Very early on then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember, actually, here's a funny story. I did a podcast with Ian back in May 2020.
Okay.
Before just about when he launched. And I sat down with him and just spoke about where he came up with this idea, why he was doing it. It was about an hour chat on my podcast. Yeah. And then I watched the journey for 3 months, and I was just like, this is me. Yeah. Because it was so different.
Yeah.
that was it. It was so different, and I was bored of doing the same stuff. Like, anyone knows me, I like going against the grain. I don't like doing the same shit that everyone else is doing. Fuck that. It's boring. It doesn't give me any motivation. It doesn't give me any life. So I'm like, right, let's just do something different. So yeah, I think
I bet you're a sick life coach, by the way. Because like just the way you are, like you know, obviously we know you, but even just watching you, you're so enthusiastic about everything. You don't do things by half, do you?
What's the point?
Yeah,
like I always look at that. You're on this world. You're renting at the moment. You're renting time, aren't you? Because we're only here for a visit. We're not going to be here forever. So why not make the most of it? Like, what else? Don't get me wrong. I have my down days. Like, I'm human, like everyone else.
Yeah.
But I just think about like, what is the point? Like, you might as well make the most of it.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I love that. It's interesting what you say about coming up to 30 and things changing for you, because that's exactly where I am now.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably a moment for everyone where 30 comes around, you look back on your 20s. And certainly for me, I'm like, well, I spent the early part of my 20s not doing stuff because of what other people might think. Everyone says, like, oh, I don't care what people think. I don't care what people think. It's only when I look back now and I'm like, actually, I did care.
Subconsciously, it's just in you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the way society builds you up. Like, you're grown up thinking you're judged everywhere, especially with social media, which we'll come on to in a bit. But
you know what they call that? Curse of comparison.
Yeah.
It's a curse.
Yeah.
And it's hard to break that curse.
And
but that's natural as well.
It was so easy to do, isn't it? Because everywhere you look, there's someone doing something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
I think a big thing for me is also, now we're doing creative stuff, we're doing videos, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The whole avocado model, if someone would have mentioned that in a corporate office, you'd have been shot down for being stupid.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was like, ideas which I put forward in my life, they get shot down. Actually, I was like, that was a good idea. It's just done that. It doesn't matter what anyone else says.
Yeah, but you took that opinion on. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And I even think I remember Ian going on The Apprentice or trying for The Apprentice, and it was a similar business model which you wanted to do, and they just completely rejected it.
Yeah.
Completely fucked off.
People take the piss until something works, and then everyone wants to be your best friend.
Oh yeah. Those people that know you, that don't want anything to do with you, then all of a sudden you start doing well, and they want to be in your life. So we've all been there.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, thanks for the introduction. And yeah, mate, I'm looking forward to diving into a few of these topics with you. So I've got a few things. Have you prepared anything, Matt?
I haven't, but I'm glad you have, because we've got a whole printed out sheet.
This seems to be a regular occurrence now, that you just rock up with your scarf on and I do all the work.
Yeah,
but then, to be fair, you do all the editing. So I've got to bring something to this party, haven't I?
Now, kids. Now.
Yeah. We're on the same.
You know what? This is a real prime example. This is actually a really good point to make, is that you two have your own specific set of skills.
Yeah.
Like taking and leaving.
Literally, yeah.
But you do, and then that's where you need to gel, and that's where you need to work. Like me and Ellen as business partners, she's really good at some stuff. I'm really good at some other stuff. She won't do some stuff. I won't do some stuff. Yeah. That's business. Like Ian and Mike, very different people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it works,
mate. We call our podcast free therapy, don't we? We're now getting a free life coaching session as well. Thanks, Sanjay.
You don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I want to get to episode 100, a changed man.
Yeah. But basically, our normal flow, we literally have some topic headings that we just want to run through, and we just talk through our opinion, basically. Small little segments. I've also got some questions for you that I wanted to fire at you and just get sort of opinions there. You can read the questions if you want. We won't go in there straight away. But the first thing is a hot topic at the moment, and we were going to touch on our last podcast, but we ran over, so we didn't. But AI and artificial intelligence at the moment. Now, it's obviously across the media. Google's releasing their thing. Well, I think they tried, but it went wrong, didn't it? I heard they released it. The first question was asked, gave the wrong answer, so they lost like loads of money.
I saw the stock crashed. I didn't see the video.
Yeah. But a point I wanted to make is, artificial intelligence, or what it's deemed as, is that it is artificial. It's not like it's going to take over the world yet. But what's your views on it, Sanjay? And where do you see it progressing, not just in our industry, but across a wider audience?
I think people need to realise that artificial intelligence has been around for about 20 years. It just hasn't come to the surface until now, because it's like anything. You've got to build something and refine it. Artificial intelligence, geez, like that's like a whole new level, so it's taken even longer, but we use it in our day-to-day, right? In our work, and like Facebook and Instagram, they all have AI. Like all of these companies have it, but I think my opinion on it, I think it's I think it's a game changer personally. We have to adapt, and the world will always be adapting. Every single year there'll be something new coming out. Could you imagine if stuff was the same 20 years ago today? It just wouldn't happen. We evolve as human beings. You know, Matt Barrell wears a scarf every day now. He probably didn't when he was younger, you know. He evolves, right? It's the same analogy. So I'm all for it. But I was watching something the other day. I do think that there needs to be a little bit more control, maybe. I feel like somewhere along the line, there's people out there that are just losing that and letting it go free. And, you know, I don't know what can happen. I'm not an expert, but I just think...
Because you watch all these films about, iRobot and stuff like that. We talked about before, like AI just taking over the world and crushing civilization as we know it. It's not, from what I can see and what I read, it's not at that stage yet. It will affect people's lives. Like there's a new one where you can ask AI to create, you can type in what you want and it'll create a graphic for you. So that basically puts out graphic designers out of business. Yeah. And musicians, you can give AI an idea of what song in terms of what lyrics you want and a melody, whatever, and it can produce a song for you. So that's obviously going to affect musicians. But is it positive or negative? Well, they just have to adapt.
I think that will only take a segment of the market. Yeah. In my opinion, like a singer, songwriter, like, yes, an AI could easily write a song, script out a song for One Direction.
Yeah.
But
mainstream pop. That's probably what happens anyway, isn't it?
You get 100%, but it's basing it on so many different, like millions of different things, and it's taking all of that information and then just projectile vomiting it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to be amazing. I mean, it might be, but I don't know. I think there still needs to be the human element, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's easy to be doom and gloom about any new technology. Like, I can still remember people demonizing the internet. Why do we need the internet when we've got libraries?
Yeah.
No other libraries will all close if we have the internet.
Yeah.
The internet will take jobs.
I think it would just evolve, wouldn't it? Because Google was saying they want to incorporate their AI almost into the search engine. So it kind of revolutionises the Google search, because obviously they've monopolised that market over many years. Like, you just Google stuff, don't you? But imagine having AI built into that. So when you say, you know, show me results for this, it'll come up with, it won't be just its search results. It would actually tell you exactly what you're looking for. So it'd be interesting to see how it's incorporated into it.
Are you excited about it? Or
yeah, I love moving. 100%. I love things moving forward. Like,
what if it goes too far?
But Elon's concerned about it, isn't he? That's what I think's interesting.
He's concerned about everything, isn't he? Though. But then he's
it's a fair point for a guy of that stature. You know,
but he's been harping on about stuff for years, and actually, generally, always comes true. So interesting.
Yeah,
are you not remotely scared?
What
in the tiniest little bit?
I don't understand what to be scared of. Like, I don't...
Well, the fact it will start developing itself over everything, and it'll wipe out probably half the amount of jobs in the world, potentially. I don't know.
But there's always been a place for self-employed estate agents, so... Or will there?
Will there?
Yeah. Good point.
I'd back myself to be all right. But,
mate, our podcast would taken off by then. Oh, no, the AI would do it for us.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like...
Do you know what? Like, I'm going to go off a tangent here. If someone said to me now, you could just pack your life in and just move to a remote island and live off the land with your family and your friends, and didn't have to worry about bills, didn't have to worry about what time I woke up, just had to worry about making the fire, catching food, having fresh water, I'd take it.
Go back to
hashtag off grid.
I would take it
completely off grid.
Yeah, absolutely. I would. That would be my vibe. That would be one of my plans for the future. When I've made all my money and I don't have to worry about stuff, I can just retire to a remote island somewhere and just enjoy my life with nature.
Why do you have to worry about stuff now, though?
Well, this is the thing. This is what holds you back, isn't it? I haven't got the money to... I probably would. Lauren would be like, fuck you, okay, sign the divorce papers first. So, and I don't want to live on my own. I'm not a complete weirdo. Although I do like my own company.
I live on my own.
Yeah, no, but you've got people around you, haven't you? Friends, family, colleagues.
Yeah. Well, everyone has.
Your computer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right. Well, computer.
Sorry, mate.
Well, just one more point on the AI. It just got me thinking about like the algorithm on social media, right? Which everyone talks about. And then back in 2016, everyone's talking about Facebook and influencing people's opinions.
Yeah,
that's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
It's along the same lines, isn't it?
Mentioning about AI, how it can change the world. Yeah. But then I was just thinking the two sides of that coin. The one side is that Facebook's bad for influencing everyone, but isn't it everyone's responsibility to consume what they...
Well, this is what we've talked about, isn't it? Like, if you've got a certain belief in one avenue, everything you see to confirm that belief you're going to read, and everything that discourages your belief you're going to ignore.
What do you think about it? Obviously, you're big on social media and stuff. Do you think the big companies have got an
ulterior motive to things?
Yeah, have they got a responsibility to like kind of weed out certain information, or are people responsible for consuming
right and wrong
what they consume?
The average person, I heard this stat the other day, the average person on a daily basis consumes 6,000 to 10,000 ads per day.
Wow.
So you tell me.
6,000 to 10,000 ads per day across social media, radio, billboards, whatever.
Everything,
just walking around life.
Imagine you drive past or you walk down High Street. There's already 100 ads there in front of you. Then you go on Facebook or Instagram 50, 60 times a day. But how many times do you unlock your phone?
Be interesting to look at phone to work out, because you can see how many times you've opened it, can't you?
Yeah.
It's a good point. Yeah, interesting.
And I don't feel like I'm ever sucked into an ad, but maybe I am.
How far? Just quickly off topic. So I've been talking about my receding hairline across a couple of podcasts, and I've got that too. Mate. Yeah, I keep getting whacked on ads about how to.
We got a product for you.
Yeah, about how to improve your hairline. Matt texted me this morning at 7:30 saying, "Well, look what fucking ad just come up for him, hair product." Do you reckon it's because they listen to our podcast and they'll target you as well?
No, for real though. When Soph Googles something and looks at something on her phone, I get those ads on my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
You do know when you look at your phone, when your phone's unlocked and you're talking to your phone, or you're thinking, "Oh yeah, that's quite cool." It's listening to everything you're saying.
That's got to be a rumor. Like it's like Amazon listens to you, doesn't it?
No, it's serious.
No, but Apple don't allow that, do they? Isn't that part?
There is a switch. I think you can turn it off, or there's a setting or something.
Yeah,
but it's like the Apple Watch.
Yeah,
same thing. It's listening to everything you're saying.
It's conspiracy theories episode.
No, I don't know that for a fact, but I know for a fact when you're scrolling touch points and stuff like that. Like for example, if you're scrolling on Facebook and you see an ad and you stop on that ad, even though you're there for 2-3 seconds, it picks that up.
And that's how the retarget audiences work on Facebook. Like that's why I'm getting ploughed with literally hair products to improve my focality.
Can't stop looking at your hair now.
I know it's bad, isn't it? Fucking hell. Anyway, finishing up AI, I asked an AI chatbot for some questions as a podcast host to ask a guest.
All right.
And I picked 3, which Matt's going to read to you, because I wanted to ask you, this is direct, I haven't edited these, are direct from the chatbot. And I didn't give anything, I just said 10 questions to ask on a podcast.
Can we name the AI chat box? Give it a name.
Yeah, it was ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yeah.
And they weren't very adventurous.
Or Bard.
No, it wasn't Bard. I didn't ask Bard because it's not open yet, I don't think. Anyway, question 1 for Sanjay.
Sanjay, how do you balance work and personal life? Ooh. Is that the first question the AI spat out?
No, I just picked out my favourite 3.
Fair enough, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's... did it take you a while to figure that out, doing what you're doing now, balancing?
Yeah, I still haven't figured it out. No. There's still moments where I overwork and then I'm like, hold on, I need to rest. I need to just chill out. And then there's sometimes where I'm chilling out too much and then I'm beating myself up and thinking, oh no, maybe I should be doing this. That's that typical of every business owner. You'll sit on your sofa at 7 o'clock at night. You'll be like, okay, there's this to do, there's that to do. Maybe I should be doing it. But I do have a much better work-life balance now because I've figured it out. But you'll do that for your whole life. I don't think anyone will have the perfect balance.
No.
I don't think that's a thing where it's real.
Do you find... you obviously mentioned a minute ago you live on your own. You find that a bit of a hindrance for work because you're sat there, if you're not out with mates or down a pub or whatever, it's 8 o'clock, there's nothing on TV. You just end up researching something or trying to teach yourself something else and suddenly it's midnight and you're like, fuck, I've been working since 7 o'clock this morning. It's now 12 o'clock. I'm technically still working.
Yeah, 100%. I sit there pretty much every night looking at YouTube videos about how to make the camera settings better or how to get the perfect drone shot or how to do this. But the fact is that I like doing it. Yeah. I love doing it. So if I didn't love doing it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't do it every night, but if you love what you do or you like, I love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like marketing's a massive topic. We can do that later. But
yeah, whole podcast on that, can't we?
But so I don't think that's like stressful for me.
Yeah. Well, it's good because you're educating yourself, and if you enjoy it, that's the main thing. It's not hobbies are interests, aren't they? At the end of the day, and it's good that it obviously impacts your work as well.
Yeah.
What's question 2, Matt?
Question 2: can you tell us about a failure or setback you experienced and what you learned from it?
Ooh.
quite a...
Can't answer that.
Quite
I'm joking. I think if anyone thinks that failing's a bad thing, then that's a problem. I used to think that through my 20s, back in my 20s. And then when I started running my own business, I failed at a couple. And then, I mean, probably the biggest one is, probably last year, to be fair, burnt out.
Yeah.
Like, completely burnt out. Like, I was working 16, 17 hours days, pretty much from January to June, every day. Every day. And then I just like, it's too much.
Yeah.
And then I realised, I was like, fuck, I need to stop what I'm doing, reassess, create some more balance in my life, and just put these things in place. And it was a slow burner, but you end up just getting back to where you should be.
Yeah.
Because if you start losing your love or your passion for something, but you know deep down you are passionate about it, you're doing it wrong, but you have to figure that out. Like, it takes time to, move stuff about, rejig how you think about stuff, and just sort of work towards being more happy. But yeah, that was probably the biggest
I think for me, I mean, obviously my business is a lot newer than where you are. We haven't hit the heights of probably how busy it was for that market and when you were working. But I found myself a couple of times I've been particularly busy, and if I know I've cut a corner to do something, that's when I suddenly realise, hang on a minute, we're offering a premium service here for what we do. I should not be cutting corners. I run my own life, my own diary. You should have enough time on your hands, but it's not always as easy as that, is it?
No, because you go back to what I said earlier. You beat yourself up.
Yeah.
You give yourself a hard time about it, but it's being so self-aware of that you realise, actually, no, I don't need to beat myself up about it. I don't need to overwork myself and overexpend myself, because if I'm fucked, then how the fuck am I supposed to do what I need to do with my job or my career or earn money or look after family and friends?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, and that just becomes so jaded when you're on the burnout or going down that rabbit hole.
It is amazing. Sorry, Matt. It's amazing what skills and self-awareness develops when you're taken out of an employed role, you're going into a self-employed role. Like, you have these thoughts, and as I said, self-awareness that you never knew existed. Like, how you can almost analyze your own life and your own work imbalance easily, whereas not have someone just tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're not doing wrong.
Yeah. And if you fail, I think the question you always need to ask, and this is what I ask myself all the time, is why?
Yeah.
And then you give yourself an answer and you can be like, why?
Yeah.
Why did I burn out? Because I was working too hard. Why? What do I need to do to stop? You just keep asking yourself that. You will get to the answer, and then you will figure out what you need to do off the back of that.
What I found the whole self-employed thing recently as well is there's no one to blame anymore. I found when I was employed, it's easy to say, oh, well, this hasn't happened because of my boss, this and that. Whereas now it's like, if I don't have enough properties...
you answer to one person yourself.
Then. Yeah, if I don't have enough listings, which may be a problem for me right now, that's because I didn't do the work in October to get them now. Yeah. And there's no one else to blame. I found that.
Yeah. But the thing is as well, like, I always revert to us almost as being we're like speedboats in the corporate machine of these big ferries. Like, we can just turn on an angle so quickly. Yeah. Like, we can just, if you need more evaluations or you need to increase your business, you just do it. You just can do stuff yourself to make it happen. You don't have to worry about getting a box tick from someone else. You just can instantly. You can wake up one morning and go, right, I'm going to do this to improve my life.
There's no board members. There's no other people you need to seek that security or that decision from. You're the one that makes the decision.
You solely rely on only one 100%. Person.
But this is why you need to look after yourself in the interim.
Yeah.
And that's why balance is important.
Great advice. Yeah, absolutely.
Had you been self-employed before?
Yeah. Yeah. I had my coaching business.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you kind of had an idea of what you were in for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Question 3.
What is something you're currently passionate about outside of work? Why am I taking on this voice whenever I'm asking a question?
I don't know why. It's not even a chat GPT. I don't know how chat GPT would sound.
I feel like I should answer it.
That
like
would be my AI.
Yeah.
What am I passionate about outside of work? I'm probably just passionate about, especially this year, just getting out and doing stuff outside of my comfort zone and putting in more break time or away time or leisure time, and almost balance, right?
Yeah.
But I've literally got so many like outings and activities and, boxing matches and things like that, and going abroad. That's kind of my main priority, which I know it sounds silly because you could say, well, hold on, aren't you passionate about another business? Yeah, I've got loads of ideas for other businesses, which I'm working on in the background, but that's kind of, I need to be passionate about me and taking that time out and enjoying life.
Yeah. Fair. Absolutely. Move on to the next topic. I think that's enough AI chat and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good though. That's good.
So I put another topic. We discussed it on our podcast earlier in the week about, obviously it was just in the aftermath of the terrible earthquake that happened in Turkey and Syria. And at the time, I think I listened back to it this morning. I think we'd said there were 3,500 people dead at the time of recording.
Yeah,
3 or 4 days ago, and now it's well over 20,000. But it's just, I've been watching a lot on it, and it just, it makes me feel so upset that you can't do more to help. Obviously, what can we do to help? But it's just. I don't know if you've seen a lot of the videos and stuff that have come out. I read one this morning. There was a teenager that was rescued after being stuck for 94 hours. Can you imagine being under rubble in a dark place for 94 hours? It makes you feel lucky to be the fact that we're not in that situation, but wish there's more we could do to help.
Well, here's a question for you then. You just said earlier you got things you're worrying about. Like, does that not put what you're worrying about in perspective?
Yeah, it does put it in perspective, doesn't it? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm particularly worried about anything at the moment in my life, particularly. But, there's always things that come up, bills, mortgage, family, that sort of thing. But shit like that, it just puts it straight in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, natural disasters are fucking awful. But they are natural disasters.
Yeah.
It can't be helped. I try not to watch too much of the news, if I'm being honest with you. I obviously know I saw it happening, but I tried to.
I just hope, the point I wanted to raise is I hope that as much aid goes to help them as much as possible, because it sounds like it's going to, I mean, that's the number at the moment, but it's going to take months to clear the debris, or even longer, whether they even get back to it. But sad topic. I just wanted to put it in there because I think it's quite a powerful thing that's happening at the moment in the world. So we can skip one if you want to talk about something else.
Yeah, for sure.
More happy subject.
Yeah,
Cost of living crisis.
Yeah, now we're all
Ukraine war.
Now we're in a more grateful state than we were a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so I got this. I read an interesting article yesterday evening about a survey that happened, and it was regarding the cost of living, but specifically at the younger generation. And I thought it'd be great with your optimism and enthusiasm and just life experience, because I'll tell you the headline and then what I read from it, and I just want to see what your views were. So basically, the point was there was a survey done, and over 50% of the 16 to 25-year-old survey by Sky News feared that they'll never earn enough to start a family. So my view was, is that a generational thing, just like doom and gloom, or are they generally got a point? But I just read it and thought, if I was one of those 50%, I would never have been in that category. But as I said, because we were born in the 80s and 90s, is that a difference for us being born in the 2000s?
I think you don't know shit when you're 16 to 25.
Yeah, there you go.
What's
your views?
I fucking hate this question. I just think that's absolutely fucking bullshit. Okay, so unfortunately, the way the school system is taught you to go and get a job.
Yeah.
It's taught you to go and work for other people. It's taught you to earn a monthly wage. You're fucked. You're in the matrix. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
This is one reason. This is exactly what I've been through when I was in this is going back to when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Like, I was just working for a paycheck because I thought that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
My parents told me, go and get a job, go and earn money, go and save money. Fucking hell, when I turned 30, everything changed. I started educating myself and surrounding myself with people that were like, actually, no, fuck the Matrix. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about when I say Matrix, not the movie, no.
Yeah.
But it's talking about that stereotype of being like in school, going to get a job, earning money, working your way up the ladder, and then being out and then fucked because they make you redundant when you're 40 and you're like, oh, right, what do I do now? Can't get a job.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff. That's just bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the problem with society, though, in my opinion.
And yeah, that news article, was that just, that was the headline, cost of living affecting young people most. But is it really? Because everyone else is affecting bills. But it's just an interesting thought. Have you got any views, Matt? Would you share a similar sort of perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're 16 to 25, you don't know shit really about cost.
But you can know shit. I know a fucking YouTuber who's 19 years old, who's making $100,000 a month. And he's making basic shit videos.
Yeah.
But he's very good at it. He's very good at knowing YouTube, the algorithm, because he's sat there and studied since he was 16.
Yeah. So you can, I take it back. You can know shit.
Yeah, I just think that some people, it's just, they're stuck. They're stuck.
Yeah.
Unless someone goes out and tells them that, or they go out and see that themselves, they'll never understand. That's a shame.
You rightly said the root of the problem there is the school system, because that's what I believed up until, a few years ago.
Right? There you go.
Yeah.
You do, and you work. I said you go into a business, you work thing. I think if you go into sales, I think it does change your perspective. Obviously, you're still working for someone else, and you're working for your paycheck, but you do have to have a bit of get up and go.
Do you know what I don't get? If you're like the best salesperson, salesman or saleswoman, if you're the best salesperson in that corporation or business, and let's just say you're earning that company £10 million a year. I'm going to take my friend as an example. I'm not going to mention his name. He was doing, I think, 10 to 12 million in sales for this company a year. He was the world number one salesperson. He still hasn't gotten started his own business.
I was just about to say, what? Yeah, why? And
why?
That comes all the way back.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Why? Good point. And trust me, he wasn't even earning six figures.
Wow.
Like what? I can't even fathom that.
Yeah.
You got to think, if you're these big bosses, like, fair play to you, because you've managed to. I think people are just manipulated by this workforce or this workhorse. I just think it's fucking bullshit. And I only can say that now because I'm doing what I do for myself. I didn't think this, when I was in my 20s.
And you said you talked about the light bulb moment a few times for your perspective, and then a lot of people have that at different times. You might get that at 19, setting up your YouTube account and making $100,000 a month. Fantastic. You might get it at 59 years old, where you suddenly get made redundant and realise, what have I done with my last 40 years of my life? I should have been doing this for myself, and then change. So it happens for different times for different people.
I speak to so many people that are in their 50s though, and they're just like, just working. Like, I'm not being funny, but my parents are complete red flags. My dad, when I was younger, he was like, no, you need to go and get a job. But it's only because that's the way he's taught. But do you know what's ironic? He owns his own business, and he has done since I was a child. And he still does.
But he still gave me the
advice, saying, no, you need to go and be an optician or a pilot or a doctor. You need to go and earn money, because it was somewhere in himself where he was like, I had to graft when I was younger. I had to graft. He doesn't want me to work almost as hard or graft that hard. But yet he's like, go and get a job. But what he didn't understand is that he had never been in that position. He never worked for someone else ever since he was a young person.
So he might have just thought the grass is greener on the other side, and actually was probably the wrong advice.
100%.
100%.
Something I've found really hard is looking to the older generation for career advice. And it's the wrong fucking place to look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the world's changed so much. You know? No boomer would have said to you in 2007, look, Facebook ads are going to be a big thing.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't. They didn't know. And it's not their fault. It comes all the way back to generational things. Question I wanted to ask you: would you, or is it ever a plan for you? Obviously, you've done your coaching career, and what you're doing now, and obviously you're very passionate about schools there in terms of how kids. Would you ever look to go back into schools and talk to students at like 14, 15, 16, and talk to them and try and have an influence in their lives at all? Or you're not interested in that at all?
No, they won't let you.
They won't let. No.
There's this guy, Simon Squibb.
Okay.
I've seen him.
You've seen him. Really interesting character. He's a multimillionaire, but now he just helps young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I'd rather not in the school system, because the school's fucked anyway.
Yeah.
I personally think the school system's fucked. Like, they're talking to me about algebra. I've never used that in my adult life. Like, what a long division.
Yeah. Trigger. We talked about that trigonometry.
What are you doing? Like, why do I need to know about long division? I don't even know how to do long division now.
Yeah.
Anyway, he basically says his mission his goal in life is to ask people, if they were going to set up their own business, what would they do? And if they don't say, well, no, I don't want to do it, why don't you want to do it? And just trying to help them and educate them that they don't need to be in the matrix. They can go and do their own thing. So I genuinely would love to help like people in their early years, probably like the 18, 19, 20 year olds, which they come into adulthood. So they're starting to think about stuff.
Yeah.
But you have to be that person, that 16, 17, 18-year-old that wants to go out and do that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Going and talking to people and shouting at people. And the only reason why I say I wouldn't do it in schools is because I used to coach for two schools, a primary and secondary school. And we used to try and help these underprivileged, if you want to call them that, kids that lacked confidence, self-awareness or drive or motivation, to build them up, to get them to a point where they can, go out and do their own life and feel confident about life and go and do stuff. And it was really, really difficult because the school was just battling them all the time.
Yeah.
It's almost just like I can go and speak to someone once, and that's it.
Yeah.
But then the school's there 24/7.
Yeah. It's like even the point, even if you did get a glimmer of a point across to one particular child. A week later, that whole idea has been erased because of the school system. Yeah. So maybe working with some young entrepreneurs could be something you enjoy doing.
Game changers, challengers, challenger brands, like disruptors, people that say fuck you to the system, like fucking hell. They're the ones. They're the future though. Yeah. They're the Facebooks. They're the Instagrams. They're the YouTubes. Those people.
It is, because the way the world moves on, we've talked about it a lot, even from 20 years ago. But can you imagine what's going to be like in another 20 years when we're all in our sort of 50s and 60s, not quite 60s, 40s and 50s. And like my daughter, who's 8 now, who is absolutely pestering me to get her own YouTube page so she can upload her stuff that she does online.
It's dangerous.
Mate, absolutely. She's 8 years. She's not even 8. She's 8 next Friday. She's 8 years old. And she wants a YouTube page. And I've been reluctant to
make videos.
To make videos and post the videos.
Wow.
YouTube shorts. Like literally of her just playing Roblox. Exactly.
Have you asked her?
I've asked her why. My friend does it. Or this, that, and
why does her friend do it?
I don't know.
That's what I would probably. I mean, it's so hard, isn't it? 8 years old. Yeah. Like, I don't have kids, so I don't know, but that's a hard one.
It's tough. You have to battle against them, and you say no, you can't have a YouTube page. Why not? Well, because you're fucking 8 years old.
Jesus, yeah.
But actually, know that you have one. So you have.
Yeah. I was like, well, she does, because sometimes it pops up. Some of our avocado videos went on YouTube, just pop up on her thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I mean, here's something that actually is probably going to piss you off a little bit. But I remember you doing a video.
Safe space. I'm not pissed off.
Okay, good. I remember you doing a video and you got her to be in the video. Yeah. Do you not think things like that will add on the fire to being like, now I want to make videos?
No, you mention it.
No, I don't think it will add because she enjoys it, and I wanted her to be engaged with it. And actually, people love kids and dogs, so it just helped my video, to be fair. So from a purely selfish thing, I thought it was going to help me.
But do you think for her?
But I hear what you're saying. Is that almost lighting the fire there, getting her involved? But she does it herself anyway. Like she films herself doing these little. I think it's an app called Zoomerang. Have you ever heard of it? It's like a kid's version of TikTok, basically. Right. I imagine. I don't know, but she does these little videos and these little edits. And sometimes even with TikTok, I'm trying to get the hang of it. I was like, do you know how to do this? And she's like, yeah, do this, do that. That's how you add music. That's how you turn the volume down. Cheers. I know it's embarrassing.
But the thing is, we used to have, I don't know if you remember this, Game Boys.
Yeah.
So we knew, you give that to your parent, they wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah. And I remember when we first got
there was only 4 buttons there.
Yeah.
I
know it's exactly the same. And that's the thing is, and I know in 30 years' time when she's got kids and the grandkids will be showing me something on their phone or the thing that pops up out their arm. I don't know how much technology will be. And I'll be like, back in my day, we used to have one single device that you hold in your hand. And they'll be like, you don't hold anything these days.
Do you remember the brick, like Nokia?
Yeah.
I used to get the different covers you used to get. I used to get a gold-plated one, I think I was.
Obviously had a 3310.
100%.
Obviously had a 3310.
Even before that, the actual brick phone.
Yeah, the Motorola's of the days. Yeah.
My dad's first phone. He was the first, he's a farrier by trade, so shoes horses. And he was the first mobile farrier in the whole of Berkshire. And he had this brick. You paid like £4,500 for it in like 1988 or whatever it was. And it was like this huge, like almost breeze block with an actual phone receiver on top. And there was no signal. Like no one could call him because there was no satellites for it. It was just weird. I was like, why did you do it? He's like, I had to be the first, didn't I?
Yeah,
probably why I didn't make it too far in business, but there we go.
My favourite was the flip phone.
Yeah. The old Motorola V525.
Yeah.
Old school. Anyway, there we go.
Yeah,
cool. So I think that's enough for topics then. So anyway, I've got a couple of segments, and I've actually had one of our listeners suggest a segment topic that we should do on a running basis.
Oh yeah.
So I thought I'd throw it to the floor. He basically suggested that we should have a very, very short clip of every week our most obscure fact that we know.
I'll just be Googling obscure facts every Thursday before we record this on a Friday.
He did send me one, but it's actually on my phone, which is over there recording, so I can't actually tell
I'm terrible with like obscure facts and stuff. Unless it's like fresh in my head, I'll never
Andy, I tried, and we'll bring that in next episode. Okay, cool.
I've got an obscure fact.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, why don't you feel free to jump in, mate, anytime.
Come on.
Did you know the circumference of the globe is 24,500 miles?
I didn't know that. It's not that obscure, is it? But I suppose it is. I didn't know.
Is the world round?
I thought it was flat. It's not actually round, is it? It's more like it's like a bit longer at one end.
If it's flat, where do you fall off?
Yeah. Good Good point.
I wasn't saying the world's flat.
No, I know. No, I'm just saying the world. When you look at the globe, it's round.
Have you ever met anyone that said the world is flat though? Like, I know there's people that claim it is. I would love to have a chat.
Well, yeah,
with them.
you. You just said it.
I'm absolutely fucking joking. I know it. I know it's spherical. What word? But have you ever met anyone? I'd love to have a conversation with someone who actually tries to sell me the fact that the world is flat.
Do you reckon planes will go like this around the world when they're flying, or do you reckon they just go straight?
No, they fly around.
No, they do fly up because when you get the map when you're on a plane and you can see, they go up and.
Yeah, but that was designed by someone who believed the world was round.
No, but you're watching it on a screen which is flat, but then the world is curved, so the plane doesn't necessarily fly like A to B in a straight line.
Yeah.
Do you know that for a fact?
They do fly.
That's what I learned on my pilot
they do
course.
often fly over different places, don't they? Like, you don't just fly straight across the Atlantic to America. You fly a little bit over sometimes, or a little bit under, depending on what part you're going.
So you curve the plane curves.
Yeah. Over a different, it almost we can't really demonstrate, and it's obviously audio, so I don't know why people are looking at our hand gestures unless you're watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. But yeah, interesting point. Okay. Get us chatting. Right, okay, cool. I haven't got an obscure fact. I did have one sent in by Andy, but I can't remember it, so I'll bring it next time. But the other segment I wanted to do, and I think this is a great guest to have on board to introduce this segment, is the best, worst joke segment. Because you love a bad joke.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I can't do it.
They're all really bad.
I can't.
It's because whenever the live chat's on, you just sit there Googling estate agents.
Yeah.
Jokes.
Yeah.
You don't know off the top of your head?
No.
I'll kick us off.
You've done them dirty,
Absolutely
right?
not.
Well, you can think.
I'm a serial Googler with jokes. It's fact.
God, and this is the beauty of a podcast. You just find out the innermost secrets of people.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought you were a funny guy.
Uncovered me there.
It was just exposed.
Right, here we go.
Good job. We've only got 10 listeners at the moment.
Why is a chicken the way it is? Because.
Okay, I think we should end the podcast.
It tickled me when I saw it. I found it on Instagram. There's a kid that does it. It's brilliant. I love it. Anyway, have you got best worst joke?
I'm not following that. No.
Okay.
The only jokes I'd have is whatever Sanjay's put on the last live stream, and
okay, fine.
I can't even remember them.
Guys, you're really killing my segments here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I can't keep up with the segments.
Well, if you got here on time for once, I'd tell you them before we start, mate. But that's cool. We can introduce them. Well, I think we should just introduce more segments into the podcast.
Okay.
Anyway, we're dilly-dallying. Should we go with some questions directly for Sanjay?
Yeah.
I wrote a few out.
Right, I already know what your answer to this is going to be.
We've covered some of them off.
How do you become a whiz on video editing? You YouTube shit, right?
YouTube shit.
Yeah. So that's the advice.
The best thing about YouTube is that you type in any question, be really detailed about it, and it will give you 20 videos.
Yep.
And then I just pick the shortest one generally because then.
Yeah.
I love it in the group chat whenever anyone asks a question.
Yeah.
Sanjay,
you're really good at editing. How do you do this? And you just literally send a link to YouTube.
Like, why? I don't know. That's exactly how I learn. Yeah. I don't know the answers. And the fact is that person on the YouTube video has made a professional YouTube video that can explain it a whole lot better than I can. So it just makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you be the best estate agent? YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube.
How do you use a gimbal? YouTube. How do you set up a podcast? YouTube.
Yeah, you do.
I should probably watch that one.
What's so very quickly then? So when you're searching YouTube videos, because everyone's got their own methods.
Yeah.
Do you go? How do you distribute which one you go on? You obviously said time there. Do you have a good time video? Like, I love a good 5 or 6 minute video on YouTube. That's probably perfect time.
I mean, I scroll through most of them anyway, but I usually pick the one that's got the most favourite thumbnail.
And then do you look at date as well? Like if one is uploaded 5 years ago, ignore it.
Because if you're video editing in Premiere Pro, you don't want one that's in 2010 or 2012. You want one in 2023 or 2022.
So look at what's got a load of ratings, what's been released in the last 6 months, and what's got a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Do your thumbnals attract you?
Yes. Thumbnails are like 50% of the audience that you attract on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the first thing they see. And then it's the title.
Huge. So, free therapy, free question. As a outsider looking into our podcast on YouTube, so we do have different thumbnails, but all it is the same. It says episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we were going to change it. But do you think we should change thumbnails for every single episode?
Type into YouTube.
Mate,
Mr. Beast would say we should. and he's
a legend, and he does very well out of YouTube. So yeah,
on YouTube.
I think we should. I think we should.
Geezer had a $2 billion offer on his businesses.
Turn it down.
$2 billion. He's 24 years old or something.
Yeah. Mental.
He's got their videos.
He doesn't know shit. He's not 26.
He's literally he just like, but he lives and breathes that. That's his life.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. That is his life, though. Like complete life. Yeah,
he's amazing. And it's made my comment about 16 to 25-year-olds look really silly. It has not dated very well.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Second question: social media. In fact, I love this question. You can ask that if you want.
Do you have someone you engage / follow religiously that you would say plays a huge part in the way you create / deliver content? That's an interesting one.
I made that up.
Yeah, there's so many to ask. I think there's one.
Give us one.
Canadian girl called Vanessa Lau.
Okay.
I started watching her when she had like 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, right. You've seen her come up.
This is like 4-5 years ago when I turned 30, started doing coaching. I was like, need ideas. Yeah. And then she's got like 1 million now. And she's making multiple millions a year through Instagram courses and all jazz like that. But she's very good with content strategy and how to work it. And actually the stuff that she gives out for free on YouTube, I've done and used and it works. So
amazing.
That's
Vanessa Lau.
Yeah.
So we put that on the little edit then.
Yeah.
I'm link in the description because I'm going to check that out.
But I do like people that are also entrepreneurial that go out and do stuff, and like that Simon Squibb, for example, because that inspires me to be like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, because he still brings up great questions and stuff.
Yeah, he's really cool because it's just a different take, isn't it, on the kind of business side of content.
I love the fact we talked about this in one of the episodes before, but my algorithm on Instagram on my business profile is all about social media content, people telling you what to do, how to do it. And there's lots of conflicting messages and you just almost don't know where to look, do you? Like there's so many different things, do this. And the other guy's like, no, do that. And it's just, I don't know why he's American, most of them are, but it's a bit of a wormhole to find yourself in and you almost can get lost in how many things to do. It's like, what do I do? What do I do?
I think it's the thing I'm learning is to be authentic online is really difficult. But you have to find your own voice because I think what works for one person won't work for another person.
Yeah. So you don't think you're authentic when you're doing videos and stuff?
I'm still really uncomfortable.
Really uncomfortable. Why?
See, I think... Sorry, you asked the question, yeah. Why?
Why do you think that is?
I'm still just adjusting to speaking on camera and seeing myself on camera.
Because my point I was going to make, I find you really authentic on camera. Like, I know you as a person... and you've actually been particularly still in this episode, but often you're fucking moving around and you just got loads of things going on. Mate, trying to edit a video with you in.
Particularly still? What are you trying to say? It's like jumping around doing star jumps or something?
Mate, honestly, when I'm editing videos with you in, like, and I just cut out the bit of a, or a little bit of a stop, suddenly you're like sat there and then you're like that, and then you're like all over. It's just weird.
Yeah, the podcast. I mean, I don't really regard this as like content, but like we did a take on, didn't we, the other day? I hadn't done one in a while, and it was really uncomfortable.
It was a weird situation, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was a bit awkward.
But it's still something I'm getting used to.
Interesting.
And I think if you look at like TikTok people who do really well, because like Soph will watch TikToks and go, oh, why are these people so, they've got 2 million followers, whatever. It's because people relate to them. Yeah, authentic.
Here's a question. I'm talking about content and social media. Do you ever post or document, probably a better word, failures or things that you're struggling with?
No, I actually haven't done that yet.
Do you know why?
Because... What you want people to believe is everything's hunky-dory and you're a success and there's never any issues, which isn't true.
This is not true. Like, this is the problem with social media, right? Everyone's got their persona. Like I was watching this guy the other day. He was like, if I look at my Instagram, all the content I put out and he's a content creator, that's not his actual life. So he's almost got like a split life. Yeah. But then he's like, why? Because the reality is people like following and documenting people's journeys, ups, downs, the fucking low shit, because that's the stuff that's relatable, right?
Yeah.
You look at any like big time influencer across the globe, like they're documenting their fucking life.
Yeah. And it is difficult to be authentic when you're promoting a business on social media. That is almost the hardest thing to do because you don't want to promote failures. And we've talked about like, if you're 90% of yourself on camera, then you're fucking doing a good job because like we've talked about how many times we've sworn in this episode. Like we swear naturally in conversation. I do a lot. I know you do a lot. But on your content that you're going out, you very rarely swear. I never sworn on a video online.
Oh, apart from my bloopers.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
But even that will blank out with a beep.
Yeah.
Because so you are hiding a little bit back of yourself.
Do you think it's different though for what we're doing? Because I really, when I first got into the business, the whole thing everything I was posting was all just about exposing the agency bullshit. And I don't do that in the same way now because I feel like I need to just show off successes, keep the failures quiet. Is it different for our business where we need to be showing potential clients, we're always winning? What?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think,
because we're all going to have shit that doesn't go well, but I'm not going to do a post sale fell through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you say why it fell through, and the reasons why,
I don't know. I mean, you look at any one of my rant videos, they're not particularly my failures per se, but they are sort of raw and very authentic because that's real life stories. Yeah. This is real shit that's happening on a day-to-day basis, which people don't know or don't see. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's hard, you don't want to document all of your failures, obviously, because that would be damaging to you. But at the same time, it's just where do you draw the line between being authentic and fake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
You've got to keep it real, haven't you? As Ali G says.
Keep it real, man.
Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Literally on Instagram with reels.
Keep it real.
Oh, God.
It's a real life.
It's on fire.
Literally, bring the fire. Cool. Question for Sanjay.
The worst trait of an estate agent.
Oh, God. Really?
We are going there.
What's the one most damaging thing that estate agents in the UK do? Like
the manipulation
of the client.
The lying the lying they do to manipulate someone fucks with their life. That's where it really fucking pisses me off. When you start fucking with someone's life, they start planning their life, for example, overvaluing. I mean, manipulation could be anything. Overvalue something by 100 grand. That client, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, are going to be like, right, okay, we can afford this because we're going to get an extra 100 grand. Yeah. They fully convict, why?
Yeah.
And then they don't, and then they're fucking depressed and hate life and hate moving and hate estate agents.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. The lies are big, aren't they? To be fair.
At what level do you think that problem arises? Do you think it's individuals? It's a structural thing, I suppose. With the
genuinely
whole
believe that estate agents you don't get into the business as an estate agent to purposely manipulate people and lie to people. You don't do it. It's just the way. If you've got someone who's been in the business for 10 years and they're teaching you how to do things and you watch what happens, naturally you just do the same. So I think it's an industry problem and has been for many years. But
where does it stem from? Where does it come from? Who's directing that? Who's telling people to go out and do that shit?
Well, they're not. It's just the way that it develops. If you need someone to do something to improve you, we're all sales. They're all sales driven, target driven. You need to get a sale in. How can you influence someone's decision?
So how does it stop?
It doesn't stop.
Because I've never worked in the corporate office environment, so I don't know necessarily how those things operate.
But different people have different experiences in a high street office. Because if you're number one agent in there, selling every single house that comes on the market, and the manager loves you, your life's cushy. But if you're scraping target every single month and you're the butt of all jokes, it could be horrible.
But do you believe in karma?
Yeah, I suppose I do, yeah.
So that fuckwit that's going out on a valuation, overvaluing by 100 grand, manipulating that client, telling them that this is the best thing ever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then sells it for whatever price. Do you not think that will come back on them in later life? Yeah. That individual I'm talking about, not the bosses, I'm talking about the individual. Do you not think they'll feel any guilt? Or do you reckon
I don't think they'll feel guilt.
Yeah, but this is it. Because they are being manipulated.
By the boss?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the answer to the question you asked a minute ago is how is it solved? By people becoming self-employed estate agents and generally caring about what they do and the clients. Don't get me wrong. I know we talk a game of being there for our clients and talking. We are there for our clients. They can message us anytime, but we still have. We don't hide behind the fact that we don't care about getting paid. We don't care about this. It's a byproduct of our success, but we still do it to get paid. We still want to get the sales through.
But all of us have put a house on the market for too much money before.
Yeah. Right. Of course.
And I think the thing with overvaluing as well is I know it's done with bad intent a lot of the time, but it's also kind of like, wow, we tried it. I didn't know. I was trying to get you more money for your house. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I agree that that's the most damaging thing.
But the thing is, you can't. Not everyone can be a self-employed estate agent. We all had to learn somewhere. But then what happens then?
Yeah.
But I think what's great about the self-employed model is there's nowhere to hide.
No.
So
but it can, why can't it just like everyone be self-employed? Like the American model, okay, there's brokerages and people work under, but that's no different to what we are.
I mean, I completely disagree with what I just said, but I said on purpose because
you wanted to.
Because people don't realise that there's a really interesting thing that Simon Squibb did with this guy. Walked up to him, he's like, he works in recruitment. He was like, would you ever start your own business in recruitment? He was like, no, I need to get some more experience. He was like, why? He goes, what if what they're doing is wrong, and what you want to do because you're passionate, motivated, and love the industry, could do it your own way.
Yeah.
He couldn't get his head around it. He was like, no, I've been told I need to get experience. I need to do this. I need to do that. It's bullshit.
Because what they'll believe is, sorry, Matt, what they'll believe is I've only been doing it for 5 minutes, so no one's going to take me seriously in the industry. That's what someone will be told.
That's exactly, we've talked about this. That's exactly where I was coming from. When I first spoke to Ian in 2020, I was like, I don't have enough experience to do this by myself. And the reason I felt like that is because I was new into the business. I didn't know that estate agents didn't care about their clients' money.
Yeah.
No, I didn't understand that. I was like, these are big transactions. These are big moves. It's a big deal. I need to understand it. I didn't know that the bigger agencies, actually, it doesn't matter. You just crack on.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know
It's a numbers game. We all get told that as a numbers game.
Whereas had I have just jumped in and followed my intuition, I'd have probably been okay.
Because what you, like the estate agent from what, when we first met in March, like nearly a year ago, the agent you are now compared to where you were a year ago, you are poles apart. Like in terms of your experience, not experience, the quality of what you do, the understanding of the process. Because let's be honest, the selling process is not difficult. Like once you get your head around the legals, it's very, very simple to understand.
Not selling leaseholds in Reading, mate.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've learned more in 2 years of doing this by myself than I did in 10 years of agency.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a massive amount.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing it myself end to end and I've dealt with so many different situations, so many different clients, so many different emotions. You're just like, the learning scale just like blows everything out of the water when you're employed. That's 10 years in being employed.
Yeah.
10 years.
Whereas all I ever did from most of my career was value houses. I've talked about like 500 valuations in a year in 2 years running in Reading. That's seeing 1,000 different people over 2 years and listing 600 properties. Like what I learned of how to engage with people, how to deal with people, it was just me. And I've always claimed to be authentic in the way I am, but I still have that in me now. Like the way I'm so methodical on how I deliver my value. We talked about this when we were going to go on a vow together, and you've seen it. We deliver vows in a certain way, and how you do it. Well, that probably won't ever change for me. Obviously, I talk a little bit differently about what we do and the benefits of using us, but my same process is still the same.
What do you think you'd do if you weren't doing what you're doing now?
If I wasn't an estate agent, it's very difficult. Like I wouldn't know. I really want to do something. What if I had to support my family though? Because obviously I can't. I need anything. So,
have a think.
Yeah.
Something in media, so do with video, music.
What kind of things?
Working with brands on ads, making videos, making content, something along those lines.
So basically, something you follow,
which is what I'm doing now without the agency slant to it. Probably, I'd lean into that more.
I think I definitely followed something through my hobbies rather than look. When you've done employed and then when you go self-employed and you see the light, I couldn't go back to being in an office at a certain time, leaving at a certain time. Someone having to get my holiday approved by someone else. I couldn't do it.
Would you ever go back to employed life?
No, I don't think I could.
I'd be a much better employee now if I ever went.
Don't get me wrong. If someone offered me £250,000 on a 5-year contract to go back and work somewhere, I would consider it. But
would you actually?
Yeah.
Would you really?
Yeah, probably would.
So if I offered you £250,000 a year to go work 6 days a week, do it everything the wrong way, do wrong by the clients, you'd go and do it?
Put it that way, no, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Depends on the job. I'm not against employment. But like,
money only goes so far. Money is disposable,
absolutely.
right?
And who was I talking about? I was talking about this. Yeah, I don't know why I even said that. I was talking about someone about this. My life now, without like, even though I'm not earning currently as much as I did anyway, that will obviously change. But actually, I'm earning more than enough to support the family. I work less hours. I enjoy what I do. Yeah, okay, work Saturdays and Sundays.
It's that balance, right?
Balance,
you know,
yeah.
you are going to be earning more. Look, don't get me wrong, money's fucking important. We all know that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's that balance between how much money do you really want to earn to give you the happy life that you actually want.
Yeah.
Not the fucking fabricated curse of comparison bullshit life that you want.
You don't. You just want to get. I just want to get to a stage where like my driveway needs doing. You've seen it. It's fucking bad. I haven't got 10 grand to do my driveway, but I'd like to be in a position where I could do that one day, fairly soon. Yeah. That's what I need to get to. But there we go. Anyway, I think we've reached an hour there or thereabouts. So I think we'll wrap it up there, unless anyone else has got anything urgently they want to talk about.
Just quickly on the last question, property market over the next few months.
I thought we'd leave that because it's a shit question.
2023.
That's such a shit question.
Prediction.
Yeah, we've gone past that. I think.
It's
your podcast. You do what you want.
We can talk about that in the next one. Where do you think it'll go in the next few months?
All right, agency.
Well, I can just very quickly. I think it'll stay the same. Mortgage rates will come down, and buyers still want to buy.
Mortgage rates staying between 4.5%.
3.5% to 4%. I reckon I'll get to.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. And the base rate down below 4 by the end of the year.
I'm
getting you
on. I think it'll stay 4% for the majority of the year. I don't think it's going to go down anytime soon.
And we'll replay this
in 5 months' time.
Amazing. Can I leave you on a positive note? Something that I got told 6 years ago.
Please, it'll be an honor. Would you like to sign the podcast off for us as well?
Yeah, can do. Surround yourself with like-minded people, give you that good energy and good vibe, and watch the magic happen.
Love that.
Thank you very much. This is the Living Room Podcast. Over and out.
Peace out, people. Thank you.